Yeah, simple question. What went wrong this season? How do you fix it for next season?
Yeah. I mean, have a good summer, work hard, get in the gym, skate. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do, and I'm committed to having a better season. So I'll do anything to be better.
Changing teams, changing cities is always an adjustment, but of course you also moved around lines, moved around positions, line mates, units. There were a lot of changes, a lot of experiments this year. What do you think worked going into next year? What do you think didn't work?
Yeah, when you show up to a new team, a lot of new things, new roles, new systems, new everything. Yeah, I mean, played on a lot of lines this year. I think any player, at the end of the day, wants stability, consistency, because then you can build some chemistry and you can get the things rolling. And I think that's not a secret or anything that anybody feels differently. The consistency, of knowing, who you go out there with and building that chemistry, and that helps a lot. So yeah, I mean, next year's a new year. We'll see what happens, and I just the only thing I can control is how good of a summer I can have, and show up next year and be ready.
Jumping off that, you were acquired because of the success you had in different roles in Winnipeg, mainly in front of the power play as a top six center. You come here and you almost immediately get put on a half wall, which you mentioned you never played, used as more of a bottom six center. Were you at all surprised that they acquired you for what they did and then essentially didn't use you in the ways that you had success in the past? And do you think that moving forward, you'd like to get back to those roles that you had success in?
Yeah, I mean, I can only control what I can control, right? Yeah, I had my role in Winnipeg that I thought I did well. I had success there, but my first year there was a different story. I had to build, and I had to work, and I got to where I wanted to, and last year, well, I don't know how we're talking about, but 2 years ago or last year, my last season in Winnipeg I thought went well. I was in a chair, we say in French, I don't know what to say, where I was in a chair that I was comfortable with, and like I said, you can keep building towards a goal. Every day you show up, you know what your role is, you know what your job is. You have that base, that stability that you can build on, and it helps a lot. And then, when you go to a new team, you could continue in that, or it could be completely different and new. But I can only control what I can control, and at the end of the day, I know I can do better. My first year in Winnipeg didn't go well. It was kind of the same thing where a lot of new things, new role, new everything. I didn't panic. I knew what I could do. I knew that once I found that stability, that I could do good things, and I worked for it, and I achieved that. So I'm not panicking. I'm not stressed. Was it frustrating? Sure. Was it hard? Yeah, but I'm not. It was 8 months ago till a year ago. I was playing how I can play. So it's not lost. It's just, I got to get back to it, and that's on me.
It's probably hard to fathom 1 year into an 8-year deal. But do you have any concern about your long-term future already here, given, say, your contract where the no move, is on July, it takes effect. There's talk maybe of some buyout, perhaps. Do you have any concern about your long-term future?
I can't. It's out of my control. I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason, and it's out of my control what happens. I just got to have the summer I know I can have, be ready for next year. Anything else, that's out of my control. That's not up for me. So I can't sit here and give you anything more than that.
Several players have, several of your teammates have mentioned. It sounds like they would be open to a systemic change, maybe a shift away from the 1-3-1. Is that something that you'd embrace? Would you like to see that happen? Would that help?
I mean, everybody has opinions, right? It's different than what I've played in the past. It has its pros for sure, and it also has its cons. Like every system, you know, you go to 2-1-2, have the same thing, 1-2-2, whatever. Everything has pros and cons. I think the 1-3-1, you know, it's been I've never had to talk about systems like this in the teams I played on in the past. But yeah, there's some nights I think it worked well for us. There's some nights it didn't work as well. But I'm not the coach. I'm not the one making those decisions. You know, I had to adjust to it. It was you know, very different than what I was used to, but that's not really my call, and I'll do whatever system I'm asked to do.
Do you think that's a system that you can excel in?
Yeah, I think, like I said, with time, stability, you know, you can learn to be good in anything. But yeah, it's definitely unconventional for what I've done my whole life. So yeah, there's times, games, situations where, you know, you have to think a little bit more, and sometimes when you think a little bit more, you're a little bit slower, and you know, your reads are. So yeah, it definitely took a while for me to get used to it. You know, even still sometimes, you know, it's so different that you're in situations you've never been in before. But yeah, I think anything in life, if you work at it, you can get better. So.
Talk about a new market, new teammates, new system, and then halfway through the season, a new coach. How much did that contribute to that instability in your first season?
Yeah, I mean, once again, it was out of my control. You know, Jimmy was the assistant coach before, so it wasn't, you know, brand new. It was just a little different. We didn't really change much from before. And then, you know, throw in DJ, who I was fortunate to work with at the World Championships 2-3 years ago. You know, I had a good tournament there, and he was a big part of that team, so I got to know him and got to work with him. So I was excited to see him. The coaching staff, I think, you know, he helped me a lot this year. I really enjoyed working with DJ. So yeah, yeah, it's just another change, another curveball. But yeah, like, he was already part of the coaching staff, so it wasn't, you know, that different.
In January, you made some comments along the lines of you wanted to be better, you wanted some instruction and guidance. Did you feel that improved after the coaching change? I know they put in the point system and did a number of things like that. Yeah, how do you feel that finished the year in terms of the level of clarity and guidance you were getting, I guess?
Yeah, like I said, DJ showing up helped me a lot. I really enjoyed working with him at the World Championships. I really enjoyed working with him here. So he helped me a lot. Yeah, everybody has a different approach of how to manage and everything. I only have one job, and it's to deliver. And you know, I have to be better. So yeah, it was different, but you know, at the end of the day, it's on me.
Are there any positives to take out of your season?
Yeah, I mean, was it frustrating? Yeah, did I play like I can? I think, you know, some nights, some games, some spurts throughout the season. You know, I think of the first 7 games after bye week. When Jimmy came, you know, I thought it went well, and then you know, RV got hurt, and so yeah, so getting to know everybody. You know, being a part of this organization, this culture, you know, I learned a lot this year, and I think you can learn in good, but you can also learn in bad. And even though it wasn't the season that personally I necessarily wanted to have, I learned a lot this year. I grew a lot, and I'm ready to move on and have a good summer and be ready for next year.
Do you think a shift to the wing would help you?
I mean, coach, I'll go anywhere I need to go. I think I'm a centerman. My first year in Winnipeg, there's some games I play all 3-4 positions in one game on 4 different lines. I think stability is key, but I think I'm a centerman. I can play wing, you know, and like anything, you could learn and become better. But I think I'm a centerman.
Do you need to be in a top six role?
Sorry. Everybody wants to be. You can ask any guy in the NHL. Everybody wants to play more and have bigger minutes, and you got to earn it. And yeah, I mean, everybody wants to play more. Everybody wants to be on the first power play. Everybody wants to be on the first line, but not everybody can. Does it help? Yeah, it can help your game for sure. You know, like I said, when I was in Winnipeg, I was, and I had success. So yeah, but that's out of my control.
Flip side of that question, sorry. Flip side of that question. What do you feel you need to or can show the organization that you deserve to be in that?
Yeah, that's on me to show them to be better. You know, if you play good, yeah, I mean, that's just out of my control.
Did you feel that the expectations were clear for you this year? Because externally, they may or may not have been when they talked about you as a guy who was going to come in and dominate, put him over the top, but then as a guy who gets put into a third line role, who maybe will replace Kopitar down the line. There seemed to be kind of two different messages. What was the message to you, and were the expectations clear, in your opinion?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of ways you can look at it, but at the end of the day, it's just, I hate to be repeating myself like this, but it's on me. If I play like I can play, you know, we're not having these questions right now. I take the blame. I take responsibility. You know, it's just on me to be a better player, and yeah, that's all I got. Sorry.
You look at your personal life away from the game. Everything well? You guys settling well away from the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. Yeah, everything's good. You know, away from the rink, I enjoyed the season. I enjoyed meeting, you know, new people, meeting my teammates, the staff, everybody, getting to know the area, getting to know Los Angeles in a way that I didn't before. Even getting to know you guys. So yeah, I enjoyed myself with that. That definitely helped a lot for sure.
Just look into like this summer moving forward. Will you spend some time down here doing some of your training, or will you go back home for that?
Yeah, you know, I'm sure in the exit meetings, you know, we'll talk, but I'm willing to do anything I can to have a better season next year. And if that means staying here for the majority of the summer, I will. You know, I want to get the best summer I can get, and if that means staying here and working with the staff or anything, I'll do that. You know, I need to be home for a few things in my personal life that I need to be taken care of, but apart from that, you know, I love it here. It's definitely somewhere where you could have fun and also, you know, get to work and do your job correctly. And if I'm sure I'll stay for a good chunk of the summer.
How did you get through the season physically? I know you had the scare in the Florida game early on. Just, you know, was there anything nagging throughout the year? How'd you finish the year health-wise?
Good, yeah. There's bumps and bruises like in any season. I played all 82, and I played the 5 in the playoffs. So, yeah, you know, something's sore, but like anybody else, so all good.